think that's going. Yeah. Look, guys, I've just got out of my shower, right? Yeah, but look, I've been dying to tell you this story about what happened when I went to Moscow. You know, I had a terrible bloody time with the Arizonian Cacti Cowboy. I haven't told you about what he did. First of all, he's dashing up and down the corridor at the mini hotel, you know, the City Comfort mini hotel in the heart of Moscow, like within walking distance to the Kremlin, right there in the heart of everything, you know. I mean, I'm trying to make sure that Australians don't get a bad name. Not that he's an Australian, like he's Arizonian. You know, he's the Arizonian Cacti Cowboy. Look, I mean, he's half American, half Greek, so he's not one of us. But the point is, he made his business to associate himself with me everywhere we went. Like, I'm up at the cake shop, I'm up at the coffee shop, actually it was, but it was like a coffee shop come cake shop, right? And anyway, I go up there and I said, what are you doing here? He said, well, you're here. I said, yeah, but you told me not to come. I said, you told me not to go to the cake shop because I'd put too much weight on, and I already had too much weight on, and you know that under no circumstances should I go to the cake shop. I said, you had the cheek to tell me that, and yet here you are, yourself. He said, yeah, but I'm in good shape. And I said, look, I don't care. I don't care whether you're in good shape, bad shape, or middling, right? If I can't go to the cake shop, you can't go to the cake shop. And he said to me, well, you've told me it's got nothing to do with you if I go to... Well, I said, well, that's true. It hasn't, but, you know, you can't just go around telling people not to go to the cake shop, then go yourself, can you? You can't do that. Anyway, look, getting back to the City Comfort mini hotel in the heart of Moscow, within sight of the Kremlin, like... He's running up and down the bloody corridor. I heard these footsteps, you see. So I came out, and here he is. Of course, I had to pretend I didn't know him, you know, but I knew exactly who he was because he's wearing the bloody pyjamas I made him before we left here, see? I mean, he tried to get into bed with me naked. I mean, you know, that's what he's like, you know. And I said to him, no. Under no circumstances will you get into my bed naked. No, I will make you a pair of pyjamas, right? I said, meanwhile, you just go and find yourself something to wear to bed, you know. So he went and got his underpants and a T-shirt on, right? Anyway, so I had to go and make him pyjamas, you see, to prevent that sort of occurrence ever happening again. So luckily for me, there was some old... American flags and Greek flags left over from the big yacht race, Sydney to Hobart yacht race. Oh, I forget which year it was, you know. They were up there in St Vinny, see? So I bought them and I made him a very nice pair of pyjamas, long sleeve, long legged pyjamas. And this side, it's got the Greek flag, and that side, it's got the American flag, and it's the opposite on the legs, you see. So, and they were very nice. They look quite nice on him. And but anyway, so he's running up and down the bloody corridor. God knows what time of the night it was. At the City Comfort mini hotel in the centre of Moscow, right next to the canal, and within sight of the Kremlin. He's running up and down the corridor like a bloody lunatic. And of course I had to pretend I didn't know him. The next morning somebody said, do you know who that guy was running up? I said, no, I don't know. I've never seen him before in my life. And she said, well, he seemed to be looking for an Australian woman. I said, oh, well, there must be other Australian women here besides me. They said, no, you're the only one. I said, oh, no, he wouldn't have been looking for me. I know absolutely nothing at all about him. I have zero interest in him. I said, it's like this. I said, you know those bank loans? I said, those fake bank loans, zero interest? That's me. Not a bump in the road, right? Zero interest. Right? Anyway, I mean, he still insists, he will insist that he is my soulmate, my twin flame, my divine counterpart. And as I said to him, well, if that was the case, I'd have some memory of a past life with him, wouldn't I? Yeah. He's always one for telling stories, terrible bloody liar. Terrible bloody liar. I remember the time, going back. And he's up there on stage, Anyway, and he said, Pericles has got a big black hairy belly button. Looks like this big black spider's crawling out of it, with 8 legs. Well, the Athenian assembly all roared laughing, but I can tell you, Pericles did not. He did not. He almost got banished then. Anyway, I said to him, you idiot. What did you say that for? They're going to bloody exile you. Oh, they'll bloody execute you. God knows what they bloody will do. But, look, you can't say that sort of thing. It's just bloody courting bloody disaster. I said, anyways, I don't know why he doesn't get his bloody pet rat that he carries around with him, to gnaw the hairs off, And he said, pet rat? Has he got a pet rat? I said, yeah, Horatio, He's got that little leather sort of thing made for his head, with the eyes. He has slits for the eyes and goes right down almost to his tail, and he carries him around tied to his belt. I said, haven't you seen it? He said, oh, never really noticed. I said, well, everybody else knows about it. I said, he said, I'll mention that next time I'm up on stage. I said, no, you don't. No, don't mention that. No, you'll get me bloody head cut off. He said, oh, well, I won't tell him you said it. I said, look, just don't bloody say anything. Anyway, so he didn't mention that. Not straight away. He eventually did mention it. Luckily, he didn't attribute it to me. But then, Pericles had this really bloody weird shaped head, like square it was, really weird. Anyway, so he gets up on stage and he reckons, that it was time for the Athenian carpenters to use Pericles' head as a set square in the buildings because it'd obviously be more accurate than the Euclidean one. Well, fuck. Well, they got him exiled for 3 years, didn't it? Yeah. They put him in a boat and took him to this bloody island, bloody miles away, He was over there for 3 years. When he got back, he was just skin and bone. He had nothing to eat but fish and coconuts the whole time, Lucky to get that. And anyway, I thought, play a bit of a trick on him, And when the boat was coming into shore, I grabbed my sister's twins. She's about a year old, one on each hip. I raced out to meet him. Well, he was standing up in the boat, and he looked at me. He said, oh, look at sheer horror. Absolute fucking overcame him, and he just collapsed into the boat, I had to carry him ashore. He was in a state of shock. He thought I'd gone and got married in his absence. But of course, well, that's beside the point. Look, anyway, I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk about this because, look, there's no point in talking about this. As I said, I've got zero interest in this man, not a bump in the road, right? Zero bloody interest. And the more he brings up this topic in conversation, the more bloody irritated I get. Okay? Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you those little snippets. And, yeah, anyway, well, apart from the incident in the cake shop and the corridor business, it was a pretty uneventful trip. And, yeah, anyway, I'll tell you a bit more about it later. See ya.